You better not click off this video. If you do, this game is going to ruin every parlay you make this weekend. Now, before I jump into the week 3 Thursday night football slate, remember to subscribe if you haven't already and keep an eye out for more game breakdown videos coming out later this week. All right, the Thursday night football matchup for this week is the Pittsburgh Steelers traveling to Cleveland to take on divisional foe Cleveland Browns. Diving into the against the spread stats for these two teams takes us all the way back to the 2017 season. Since 2017, the Steelers are 42, 41, and 3 overall ATS. However, as the away team, they're 21, 19, and 1. As an away underdog, they're 15 and 8. After a loss, they're 14, 12, and 1 and they're 17, 14, and 1 against AFC North opponents since 2017 against the spread. The Browns, on the other hand, are 35, 49, and 1 overall against the spread since 2017, which includes a 16, 24, and 1 record as the home team, 9, 14, and 1 record as a home favorite, 15, 29, and 1 after a loss, and 11 and 20 record against AFC North opponents. So as we can see, the Steelers have performed better over the last 5 years against the spread, which is initially making me lean towards the Steelers side of the spread for this game. In addition to the against the spread stats, I think we should take a look at the over-under stats between these two teams as well. The Steelers' over record since 2017 is 34, 49, and 3, which means they're hitting the under more than they are hitting the over. This includes going 12, 28, and 1 as the away team, 9, 13, and 1 as an away underdog, 10 and 17 after a loss, and 13, 18, and 1 against AFC North opponents. And the Browns, on the other hand, their over record since 2017 is 41, 43, and 1, which includes 17, 23, and 1 as the home team, 12, 11, and 1 as a home favorite, 21 and 24 after a loss, and 16, 14, and 1 against AFC North opponents. While this doesn't exactly give us a hint at which way this game's going to go when we look at the over and under, it does kind of show us that both teams have shown to go under in the majority of their games since the 2017 season, with the Steelers kind of having a more decisive record at 34 games hitting the over, 49 hitting the under, and 3 pushing the total. Now, since these two are divisional opponents, they play each other twice a season. So I took a look at the last 5 games at Cleveland between these two teams and found that the average margin of victory for this game is about 4.8 points. The overall record for each team is 2-2 and 1 against each other when they played in Cleveland. So the Steelers have won twice, the Browns have won twice, and in one of those games there was a tie, unfortunately. The current line is set at 4.5, and the 4.8 point margin of victory kind of suggests this line is pretty spot on, so I don't expect it to move all that much unless there's some major injury news that comes up. But the one key note to look at in this game is the quarterback situation. The Browns are playing with their backup quarterback due to the suspension of Deshaun Watson, which could allow for the Steelers to take advantage of somewhat of a hampered Browns offense. They've looked pretty decent in the first 2 weeks with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, but these AFC North matchups tend to be pretty physical football games, and without a lot of experience in this type of atmosphere, it could be tough for Brissett to get going. The Steelers, on the other hand, will be starting Mitch Trubisky as they have in their first 2 games this season, but their offense hasn't exactly put up a ton of points so far. There are actually rumors that Steelers fans are looking to have Kenny Pickett start in the near future, so we'll have to keep an eye on that this game and see if Trubisky also struggles, which would also help us hint at the under for this game. Now, for my picks for this game, as I mentioned, the stats and the records against the spread over the last 5 seasons suggest that the Steelers are more likely to cover the spread than the Browns are in this situation. However, the Browns should look to run the ball frequently. As I mentioned, Jacoby Brissett's at quarterback, so they should be handing it off quite a bit to Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. And the Steelers, as I also previously mentioned, haven't put up a ton of points in either of their 2 games. So with points kind of being at a premium for this game and it looking like the under is more likely, a 4.5 point spread is actually pretty big, which is why I'll be taking the Steelers plus 4.5. As I mentioned, I don't see the spread going up anymore unless there's any injury news. The over under spread is currently set at 38. I think that's a pretty low line compared to the other games this week. So you might see the public take a lot on the over, which could cause the point total to increase slightly closer to 40. But either way, I'd be comfortable taking the under. If it gets north of 38, that's fantastic because 38's kind of a football number, 40 not so much. So if you can get it anywhere higher than 38, you're going to be in pretty good shape. But just to kind of recap, the Steelers are the superior team against the spread. This game over the last 5 years has been pretty low scoring, and the same should kind of be expected this year with the current status of these two teams. And my picks for this game are going to be the Steelers plus 4.5, and I'm going to be taking the under.